Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an ELC EVEN 90. It's a Tier 8 French premium light tank. It's located on the south spawn of Serene Coast and it's under the command of Beerwalla. Now, many have seen this tank before, and if you've got one, then you know how fantastic it is. It really is absolutely brilliant at camo. In fact, one of these with a camo crew and a camo net on it probably sit in a bush, and the enemy will only detect them when they actually run into them when they go through the bush. It is that good. It really can only be detected by auto detection. It's also got a fairly decent view range of 380 meters. So if you've got a pair of binos or I'd say a pair of coated optics, then you can get great view range on the enemy. The only problem with it is it's got a terrible gun and pretty poor acceleration for a little light tank. It can go up to 70 kilometers an hour in the right circumstances, but it really has got very, very poor power indeed. Only 160 horsepower for an 8-ton tank. And well, if you've had a car which weighs a couple of tons and it's got only say 100 horsepower, you know that 160 horsepower for 8 tons is very, very poor indeed, which is why this thing accelerates incredibly slowly. The 90mm gun is capable of 220 alpha, and with the premium rounds, standard rounds, it will go through 175mm, and with the premium rounds it goes through 215. And Beerwalla's got him off to a good start by sitting in this bush right next door to the lake, which is a favourite spot for spotting, and it's very difficult for the enemy to see that you are here if you approach from the right angle. And he's spotted a GSOR across the lake, there you go, who's just dumped all of his 4 shells and he's now reloading, and also a Barrask. Now, this tank was built by the Brunel-Verlat company, which is the same people basically who built the BDR G1B. And it was built in the 50s for the ELC program. And one of the other tanks on the ELC program was the AMX ELC, which and they both competed for the same title actually of getting the light tank, airborne tank for the French Armed Forces. As I say, this one's only 8 tons and the ELC is very light as well. It's got a 3-clip magazine, which is takes a little while to load. 2.5 seconds between each shot, 29.37 seconds to load the full clip. So it does take a little while to unload the shells into the enemy, and it also takes quite a long time to reload the shells. So you have to run somewhere safe if you do reveal yourself and shoot the enemy. But I like to play, not tag as such, but on this map, I often like to run up the west side of the map, get behind the enemy by coming up behind them, do a quick drive-by, and then come back round and do it all over again, because it confuses the hell out of them when I'm going to appear next with 3 shots to put into them. This is a fairly good spotting position though. You can see that he's got sight of the enemy, but I think the big worry is that T-32 behind him, who has managed to get to the end of the peninsula, and he's got a Conqueror tank with him. Tier 10 game, Tier 8 tanks in it. Now, so far, Beerwalla's managed to accumulate 3.3k of, well, it's nearly 3.4k of spotting damage, and he's moved a bit further into the bush. As a light tank, he can move without the camo penalty, because of course he's got the same camo moving or stationary. But he's gone a bit further into the bush so he can watch these T-32 and 110 go by, spot them, so his teammates can then do damage to them. But he might actually be able to fire a shell or 2 into them if he needs to. He's got that one with the bush mechanic, but the T-32's gone behind the rock, so he could open fire on the 110 now, and the 110 wouldn't see him, but he doesn't, and he's completed his mission and got a patrol duty. 4.1k of damage now. Now we're 4 tanks down on the enemy, so it's not such a good game at the moment. But I think the thing is that what happened was most of the tanks that went up the west side of the map ran into a roadblock of a Strib 103B and an EBR 75 FL10, and Beerwalla's decided to leave his bush now and see if he can take out this 110. He should be able to get him with just 2 shots. He's creeping up behind the guy. Okay, was seen, lost that shot, gets that one in, go for the kill, and he gets him. Now you can see from the marks of distinction on the top of his turret, yes, he has got an ace tanker in the ELC EVEN 90. So he does know how to handle it, and yet again he slips back, goes into the bush, and he's hidden. The T-32 got wiped out, so there's nobody on the peninsula other than the Conqueror, and oh, he's just taking a pasting. Now the problem is that the enemy is still 2 tanks ahead of us, and it looks like they're about to attack our T-30. Up the centre of the map, the enemy Arty's been spotted. Can he get a shot into him? He might be able to, actually. Yes, he can. And he puts the first one in. The second one, you can see he needs 3 shots to take out the Arty, and he gets him. So his second kill, and he wasn't spotted while he was doing that as well. But now he's on long reload. 27.54 is the second the time he's got. So he has managed to reduce it by 2 seconds. And he is using premium consumables as well, the coffee and croissant. And there goes the enemy Conqueror. So they're only 1 tank down now. And it looks like the enemy tanks are about to meet our Death Star. Well, one of them did. The T-30 on the enemy team just got wiped out. He tried a quick shot at the GSOR. And the Progetto on the enemy team is now in our cap area. Oh, fantastic shot on the SU-130PM. He drove backwards into the shot, and another one on the GSOR as well. He timed those shots perfectly, but he was seen. So he does have to motor, because if he stays where he is, the GSOR might be able to take him out fairly quickly. He's got very light armour. It's virtually negligible armour, really. It's on the hull, it's 15mm at the front, 10 at the sides, 10 at the rear. And the same on the turret, 15 at the front, 10 at the sides and rear. So yeah, very light armour indeed. But then it was supposed to be an airborne tank with a very big gun to find the enemy, spot them, and if necessary shoot at them, but run away. He's approaching this Progetto, just got a massive hit, and he's coming up unspotted. And there goes the Progetto, just like that. And now they're 1 tank ahead, thanks to Beerwalla. Unfortunately, we did lose our 704 there. Was it a 704? No, I think it was an ISU 152K. Or was it? It was an ISU of one kind or another, I'm sure. Yes, it was an ISU 152. Okay, he's gone back to the bush, but the only reason for doing that, of course, is that there's a GSOR out there that he can't see. He's already hit that guy, and of course that Strip 103B, who was the one who blunted our attack up the west side of the map. He's platooned with the Death Star, because they both got at least 3 kills, so Brothers in Arms is on the cards if they can both survive the battle. And of course Beerwalla's still got all his hit points. I'm not sure if the Death Star's got the same. Where is he? There he is. Oh no, 67%. So he has taken a hit. And going up on top of this railway line, well, he hasn't been spotted. Sixth Sense hasn't gone off. And he's changed bushes so he can watch on the west side of the map and see if the enemy's coming up this way. Now, if you've ever seen videos by Honest Gaming, Steve Wallst, he's a streamer, and he's an incredibly good player, and he's actually hidden ELCs in a, not in a bush, not in a tree, in a twig, literally a twig, and it's just incredible to see what he does with this tank. But literally he hides in, well, you wouldn't think you could hide in a twig or what's left of a fallen tree, but he does, and the enemy just doesn't see him. And well, if you watch some of his videos, or if you watch him on stream, if he's playing the ELC, which I think he calls the Steve 90 now, it's very funny. He does incredible things with this little tank. I remember when it first came out that the Salty Jedi had one of these. He had it, I think, given to him by Wargaming, and he hid it in a bush on the old map of Erlenberg, right up next to the cap, and the enemy was approaching the cap but couldn't see him, even though he was only just slightly more than 50 yards away from them and just outside the auto detection range. Oh, he was seen! Move, move, move! It's the GSOR who saw him, but the ELC, the Striv will probably see him as well. So he's managed to get away, but he took one round from the GSOR, 307. And the Striv has been detected. He got detected when he moved, and the Death Star got around into him for 803. So he picked up that as spotting assist. He's now up to 6.4k, which is pretty good, and 1.2k of actual damage. But the problem is, our Object 140 over on the west side of the map, he's very low on hit points. So I have the feeling that Beerwalla's going to have to go in again, try and work out where these guys are, so that our guys can do some damage. And I suspect that the Death Star has reloaded now. They're obviously hiding in the bushes, and they're doing almost as good a job as Beerwalla did. But the moment that Sixth Sense goes off, he's got a motor, and there's the Striv. He spotted him. Now it's time for the Death Star to do his job, finish that guy off. Let's hope he can. If he can't, then Beerwalla might have to do it. Beerwalla could possibly do it. Oh, lost the outline now. He's gone into that little dip where the Arty normally hide. And we don't know where the GSOR is now. I have the sneaking suspicion that the GSOR might have gone to the other side of the cap, because he may have feared that Beerwalla was about to go via the lake side and get round that way to shoot at them. The Striv keeps repositioning. Unfortunately, Beerwalla hasn't got a shot, and that means the Death Star probably hasn't got one either. He doesn't want to encourage a shot from the enemy, because although he's still got 593 hit points, I think that's 593, yes. Yes, it would leave him rather short if he got double tapped by both the Striv and the GSOR. In fact, he could be wiped out. So for the moment, he's staying where he is. The Object 140 is moving up. Now, as I said, this thing accelerates incredibly slowly because it hasn't got much in the way of horsepower. But if they do detect those tanks, to avoid the Object 140 being wiped out, Beerwalla might need to distract them. He might be able to move up to that fallen tree, but I'm wondering if the GSOR might be in that fallen tree. There's the 2-minute warning. Beerwalla's decided to risk it. If his Sixth Sense goes off, it hasn't gone off, and there's the Striv, and he's got a shot now. First one goes in. Was he seen? Yes, he was seen. Go for the kill. There's the GSOR. Unfortunately, he did get wiped out because he got double tapped. Just as I said, it might happen. And so he is toast, and that means no brothers in arms. But we now know where the enemy is. And the Death Star is going in to finish them off. And the Object 140, yes, he needs to follow in, because they can't take out both of them at the same time. If he comes in from the same direction. Here comes the GSOR. He's a one-shot. Oh, took 2 rounds. The GSOR took a hit, but he's still on 45 hit points. There he goes. The Object 140 got a shot on him, and that is the end of the game. And here's the end of battle results, and it was an ace tanker for Beerwalla in the ELC EVEN 90. He managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage. I think he did quite a bit more than that. Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 7. A fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly, and a 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. He got another medal. He got a patrol duty medal in that one for being the only one spotting at least 6 enemy tanks whilst they were damaged. And, well, he actually did a huge amount of spotting. We'll find that out very shortly. Let's have a look at the team score. And we can see the highest damage in the game was actually done by that GSOR 1008. 5,016 hit points of damage done by him. And the next high scorer was the T30 with 4461. And followed by the Object 140 with 3,997. And the Death Star with 3,816. We can see that Beerwalla managed to get 1,784, which was not too far behind considering he's a light tank and he only had a 90mm gun. That's pretty good going. When it came to kills, he was right at the top with 4 kills. 3 kills went to the Death Star, the Object 140, the Strip 103B and their Conqueror. And when it came to base XP, well, he's got the top in that one as well. 1,355 base to Beerwalla, 1,012 went to the Object 140 and 861 went to the Death Star. He fired 12 rounds in that game, got 11 direct hits and 10 penetrations, damage of 1,784 hit points, of which 748 were at more than 300 meters. 3 hits received, all 3 penetrated. Well, I did mention the armor on this tank is very, very, very thin indeed. So yeah, it's not going to stop anything that hits the body of the tank as such unless it hits the tracks. And well, he spotted 7 enemy vehicles, damaged 6 of them, killed 4, and did 7,297 hit points of spotting assist, and he got 7 defense points when he reset the gap when the Progetto was killed. So a huge amount of spotting damage, and this is why his credits are so high. On a premium account, he had 95,629 credits from that game, got 35,861, I think that's from Holiday Ops, 58,812 from Personal Wishes Payout, and 238,117 credits altogether. After repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, and remember he was firing standard ammo throughout, but yes, he did use coffee and croissant, he still walked away with a massive profit of 209,252 credits for a game, and 1,355 XP, 8,132 from Personal Missions Payout, 203 for this being a premium vehicle, and took away 10,368 experience points altogether. So a very valuable game for Beerwalla, but it's a very good game because it's the second time he's got an ace tanker. At least I think it's the second time, because I think he may have actually done it more than once, but he's got that M symbol on his turret showing he's actually done it and got the distinction marked at least once. Well, he's done it twice now as well, and a very good attempt this was, even sacrificing himself at the end to find out where the Shriv and the GSOR had gone to, and enabled his teammates to then finish them off and win the game for the team. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below because it feeds the algorithms, and thank you for watching.